This is your $1,200 stimulus check update and the latest stimulus news. As always, my videos pertain to everybody, but I like to look out for everybody here on the channel, otherwise known as the underdogs or the small guy. But hey, those people include anybody receiving Social Security, whether it's retirement, disability, or survivors. SSI recipients, supplemental security income, VA beneficiaries, as well as low income and no income. Hey everybody, happy Monday. I hope you're having a great day so far. Today is Monday, September 14th. And hey, if you're new here or you're not subscribed for any reason, please do me a huge favor and hit the subscribe button. All right, let's get right into this and talk about the latest information and see where we stand as of today. All right, let's get into this. So this morning, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin was out and made a few statements, which I'm going to cover here. And one of the statements is he encourages lawmakers to not allow fear of the federal deficit or the Fed's balance sheet to delay further COVID stimulus. I think that's important. I mean, that's an interesting statement right there. He's basically encouraging lawmakers, hey, don't let any of the debt in this country or the Fed's balance sheet to worry you about or delay additional stimulus for COVID. So that's good stuff. He was also out and said that he is in support of additional stimulus. However, he is ready and willing to talk to Nancy Pelosi when she is willing to come back to the table and continue negotiations. As we know, the House of Representatives and Senate are back today. So this is great. They're back for just a couple weeks here before they head off on another recess. So good stuff. Steven Mnuchin also, in his statements this morning, said that he believes the Problem Solvers Caucus will be out later today with a stimulus proposal. Now, I've talked about the Problem Solvers Caucus previously. I don't know, maybe a couple months ago I talked about them. Basically what this is, it's a small bipartisan group of Democrats and Republicans who are quietly working behind the scenes to come up with a stimulus package. So he anticipates that this group of people continuing to work behind the scenes is going to come up and introduce a stimulus proposal later today. So that should be pretty interesting to see what these people come up with. Hopefully, like I said, since it's a bipartisan group, hopefully they are come up with something that both parties can support. As we know, I've talked about this before. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi, they're kind of the two people that are heading up the negotiations for both parties at this time. So basically, whatever flies between the two of them will be introduced to the parties and most likely supported because they're kind of like the head honchos when it comes to these negotiations. So we're kind of relying on these two people to come up with something for the American people. When it comes to Congress, Congress is looking at the economic numbers to determine the need for stimulus, need for additional stimulus, and how much stimulus. What's interesting about this is they continue to look at the economic numbers and say, oh yeah, everything's doing great. The economy is roaring. Well, what they're not telling you is that they're looking at the economic numbers now, as in from like July and August, when the numbers were much better compared to back in like March, April, May, June, when the economy was basically shut down. So of course, the economic numbers back in those early months, March, April, May, June, they were really bad, like really, really bad. However, when they look at the new economic numbers now from like July and August, they're saying, look at these numbers. They're great. The economy is doing so well. Well, yeah, because you're comparing the numbers to awful numbers that were reported back earlier this year when there was no economic activity going on. So of course the numbers are going to look good. So very interesting. They're also looking at the retail or the real estate market, the housing market, and they're saying yes, houses are selling like crazy. Well, yeah, no, of course they are. First of all, there's not much inventory. There's not many houses out there to be bought. The houses that are out there for sale are selling quickly because there's buyers out there because interest rates are so incredibly low that of course people are going to buy right now when interest rates are basically zero. Of course they're not zero, but they're very close to it. I mean, it's almost free to finance your house. So why wouldn't you do it? So of course the real estate market is looking good. So yeah, it's very interesting. The numbers are not very accurate. I mean, it's very skewed, the economic numbers, but yet it looks very good. Again, too, I've talked about this before. Every Thursday, the jobless numbers are released, as in like how many people, new claims for unemployment benefits. those numbers have been right around 900,000 the last couple weeks. However, that does not include all of these gig employees, the self-employed, all of those people. If we actually looked at the real numbers, we'd be looking at like 1.5, 1.6 million new unemployment claims every single week. However, they don't tell you about those other 800,000 people that are claiming unemployment every single week. So again, it's a little bit deceiving. As always, more smoke and mirrors just to hide what's actually going on really out in the world. Another thing too, I read through the comments. I read through thousands of comments every single day. If you ask me how the economy is doing and how people are doing, my response would not be it's doing well. My response would be, yeah, people are struggling. People are being evicted at a constant rate, which is really sad. People cannot pay for their food. People are not being able to pay their utilities, their bills, their rent. So yeah, in my opinion, based on what I'm reading in the comments, there's a lot of people struggling right now. I see it every single day. I read tons and tons of comments every day. Also, I find this to be interesting. Israel announced that they're going into a nationwide lockdown. Why is that interesting? Because if we think back earlier this year, what happened over in the European countries before it happened here in the United States? Well, the European countries went into shutdown, lockdown, quarantine type situations, and then it wasn't that much longer after that, the United States was experiencing the same thing. But even though this is just one isolated incident where Israel is announcing that they're going into lockdown, I mean, what is this telling us about everything going on? Are we recovering from this situation going on, or is it maybe worsening a little bit? Well, I don't know. I mean, let this maybe give you a little glimpse into the future. I don't know. So I want to clear up just a little bit of information that I talked about over the weekend. On my videos from Saturday and Sunday, I talked about the non-filer tool and the importance of getting over there to fill that out for your first stimulus check. Here's the deal. I've had a lot of people asking me, do I need to go over there and fill it out? And in some instances, people have said, I received the check. Okay, here's the deal. If you received the first stimulus check, no, you don't need to go fill that out. This is strictly for those people who have not received it yet. If you have not received the first stimulus check, please go back and watch my video from yesterday or Saturday, and I walk you through step by step what you need to do as suggested by the IRS. If you want to read this article for yourself, it's not all that long. It shouldn't take you that long to read through it, but if you want to read it right from the horse's mouth, otherwise known as the IRS, feel free to go to their website, irs.gov/coronavirus, and you'll get the information right there. It was just an announcement they made, I don't know, maybe 3 days ago, Thursday of last week, I think. They made this announcement, so check that out, and they talk about the non-filer tool for people who have not received their stimulus check. Your deadline is October 15th. If you're still waiting for your $500 dependent payment that you still never received, your deadline is September 30th. You need to fill out the non-filer tool and claim your dependents there. It's up to $500 per dependent under the age 17 at the end of 2019. So I hope that makes sense. But anyway, I'm going to be watching this closely. I'm interested to see what this Problem Solvers Caucus comes up with later today if they introduce their proposal. I'm interested to see because, like I said, this is a bipartisan group of people, Democrats and Republicans. They're working in the best interest of both parties. So if they come up with something that's a little bit interesting and enticing for both parties, they may just jump right on this. But again, remember, they only have about a little over 2 weeks to work, these people, before they go on recess once again. So they really need to put the pedal to the metal and start working here before they leave on another vacation and don't return until after the election. So I'm always here for you. I continue to do all this, and it's really important to me to come back each and every day to give you guys all of these updates. So I'm here for you. I say it literally in every video, but seriously, I am. So enjoy your day, everybody. Maybe I'll catch you later with more information. Hopefully it's good. Crossing our fingers. All right.